everyone. Welcome to Lucy's Cucina. I'm sorry you can't actually see my kitchen because I am making this video by myself with just my cell phone. So please be patient with me. I'll try to keep my hands out of the video and hope that you can see everything clearly. So I'm just going to jump right in and start. The Arancini rice balls are Sicilian. I am making them in a non-traditional manner. I am following the directions to make regular rice balls, but I'm not adding a lot of the ingredients that are in the usual rice balls. I started with 2 cups of dry carnoli rice. Now, you don't have to use this type of rice, but you do need arborio rice, or even sushi rice. It has to be a sticky rice, okay? So this is what the rice looks like after it's cooked. I did add a little bit of salt, pepper, and parsley in it. I am going to add more. I just sprinkled a little bit in, not that much. And I have some eggs here. Now I have 5 eggs. They weren't that big, okay? Some of the egg I'm going to keep aside because I'll be putting that the rice ball, I'll be rolling it in before I put it in my breadcrumbs, okay? Some of this egg is going into the rice mixture, and I'll tell you what else I put in the rice mixture. I'm making these just with some broccoli, flavored with some Romano pecorino cheese, because that's the way my son likes it. You can put anything you want in these. I mean, if you could spice it up with hot pepper, you can put all kinds of meat. There's hundreds of different recipes. This is just how I do it for my son and his wife. All right, so here we go. I'm just whipping up these eggs, and I'm going to put about half in there. All right, and I'm going to mix these eggs in here. There we go. Just going to mix it up a little, and I will put my seasoning. For seasoning, what I have is a teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of black pepper, a teaspoon of garlic powder, and a teaspoon of fresh oregano. Now this, sorry, not oregano, parsley. I grew this in my garden and I dry it out and I use it all year. So I'm just going to dump this in. All right. This way the rice has a nice flavoring to it. There we go. And I'm just going to keep mixing this until it's all incorporated because I'll be making these rice balls by hand. All right. And it has to be thoroughly mixed. It has to be sticky and thoroughly mixed. Now, when I cook this rice, I let it sit and get to room temperature. The broccoli that I'll be putting in, same way. I cooked it and I let it get to room temperature. In front of me, after I move this pot over, I have some water. And you will need to dip your hands in the water, otherwise the rice won't come off. Now, like I said, this is 2 cups of rice from the box, and I think this is going to make probably about 10. I'll just make 1 to show you, all right? And of course, it's missing a few ounces for what I had to eat because I have to test everything as I'm going along. All right, so this looks pretty well mixed up. All right, and I can feel it's pretty sticky. I'll just mix it a little bit more just to make sure that those spices are pretty well distributed. All right, now like I said, if you decide that you want to put hot pepper in here, you can put hot pepper flakes and everything in here, okay? Whatever you decide, any kind of seasoning. Now, what I will do is I'm going to just move this aside, all right? And then this way you can see how I'm breading. Alrighty, I'm going to put that up in front. You probably won't be able to see the rice anymore. Sorry about that. But you'll be able to see what I'm doing anyway. Okay, I have an ice cream scooper just to try to make them a little more uniform, especially if you're having company and you want everything to look nice and neat. It's the best way to measure, all right? So I'm taking a heaping scoop of this. There we go. Here is a heaping scoop. And I'm putting it in my hand. And of course, I forgot to wet my fingers first, which I just got done saying. So I'm going to wet one and then transfer it. There we go. I just want to make sure that we're in a good spot. I'm trying to see the camera. Okay, looks pretty good. I'm going to wet my other hand now. So all I'm doing is squishing this together like so. All right. Let me move this out of the way. I'm still afraid you're not seeing this all. And yeah, I think we're good. All right, so I'm squishing it together and I'm going to make a well in the middle. All right. And it's a little difficult to make because sometimes the filling comes out and, you know, you run into a little problems like that, but you work with it. You can add more rice on top. All right. So I just made that well in the middle. Now on the side, all I have is some broccoli that I cut up, and I sprinkled some Romano Parmesan, Pecorino Romano on top. And I'm going to take a piece of broccoli and put it right in the middle, okay? So let me come up front like this. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold this rice over. All right, you might not be able to see, but I just have to make sure that that is all covered. All right, and I'm gonna squeeze it together, turn it over, squeeze it, turn it over. All right, now if I see that that broccoli is kind of sticking out any place, I could just go and get a little bit more of the rice and I can just, you know, patch it up, so to say. There we go. So there we have a nice rice ball, okay? And that looks pretty good sticking together. Now, I've seen recipes where people flour it first. I don't think you need the flour. If mine falls apart, yes, then I'll be going to get the flour. Every time I have done them, I didn't put the flour, all right? So why not add carbs, you know, not add any more carbs. But let's face it, this is a carb ball, all right? So not that a little bit of flour is going to make much difference there. So that looks pretty neat, okay? You can kind of see the parsley and all. So, you know, we want that rice to have some extra flavor. You can even throw some Parmesan in the rice and mix it up. So what I want you to do is after you see this video, give me some ideas. All right, because I know you're going to say, oh, this would be good if I added this or that. So I would love to hear what you want to add to your rice balls. All right, let me take this fork out. Here we go. I'm just going to roll it a little bit in there. I'm putting it back in my hand. I don't want a heavy egg on it. I just want to make sure it's covered. You can use one of those little silicone brushes too, whatever that you have. But this is the way I do it. All right. There we go. So there's a rice ball. All right. So now all I'm going to do is roll it in my breadcrumb. I'm going to make sure it's really covered well. And I'm going to drop it in my oil. All right. Now, my oil is already hot because I did want to show you how one comes out. All right. There we go. And that looks really nice. Now, I won't be able to turn my camera, but I can try. Now, I think if I turn my camera, I'm going to lose you. So I'm going to show you after it's done. Right now, I have a mixture of canola and vegetable oil because that's all I had left, okay? So I'm actually going to just pick this up and move it in the front here just so I can show you, okay? So there we go. Look how fast. Now, I had my oil too high, so that browned way too fast, okay? So I'm going to put that aside, lower my gas, and I'm going to do another one. So I didn't realize my gas was on high, so I'm just taking it off for a second. Let it get down a little bit, the oil. That was my fault. That's how you learn. So I put it on medium, and just by me taking it off, I'm sure it dropped the temperature. Okay, so it's not that that's not edible. It's edible. I'll pick it apart. Nothing goes to waste. All right, so here I go. I'm going to do another one. There it is. Of course, I forgot to wet my hands again. And I have some breadcrumb on there. It doesn't matter. Wetting again. Just a little. There we go. I'm squeezing it just a little because I'm going to shape it better once I put the broccoli in. All right. So there's my little well in the middle there. Again, I'm going to get a piece of broccoli. Putting it in there like that. Okay. And now you can see I'm covering it. All right. Now, let's see if I get a good cover. No, I could use a little more rice. I'm just sticking my hands in that rice, and here we go. Just going to cover it. Everything has to be covered or you're going to have it come out in the oil. All right, so like I said, I did lower my oil, and now we're going to try again, see how that works. And I'm just squeezing it, Okay, there we go. So that looks pretty good again. All right, there we go. Into the butter it goes. And I'll just go back in again, move that around. I'm sorry, not butter. I'm so sorry, egg. There we go. That would have really confused everybody. I should, you know, I think I said butter because what I forgot to mention was I did put a tablespoon of butter in my rice when I cooked it. All right. And I just let that cook in there. There we go. There's the rice ball. All right. And I'm going to just lower my gas a little bit more. I see some steam coming off there, my oil. And we're going to try it again. Again, I'm just going to go off for a minute and then I will show you. All right, here we go. There we go. So you can see it's cooking a little slower now. And I just got some oil in the egg. No biggie. I'm going to put it back on and then I'm going to show you when it's done. There we go. And I will be done in a minute. Now, they should really take a few extra minutes. Again, my oil is too hot, okay? So again, I'm going to lower my oil. However, there's no way am I going to not taste this right now. Anyway, all right. So here we go. And let me just rinse my hands off. You can take a peek at that rice bowl while I'm rinsing. So, suggestion is check your oil first. Don't do what I did. This is a little bit too dark still. The breadcrumb is a little bit too dark. It should be a light golden brown. So this is a little bit overdone. But now I lowered the gas, okay? It's better than the first one I made. Here we go. I'm cutting it open. And there you have it. Now, yummy, yummy, yummy. Look at this. Doesn't that look great? So, it should cook a couple more minutes, but I'm eating it anyway. Good stuff. It is hot inside, so the egg did cook, okay? It's hot. Like I said, cook it on a lower gas. Add whatever you want in the middle. And let me know if you cook them. Let me know your ideas of what you want to add. And that's it for me today. And thanks for tuning in.